Hi, hello sa lahat. So you are viewing the lecture video on the life and works of Rizal in the topic Jose Rizal's nationalist ideology. Okay, so for this lecture, so we aim to understand the concept of nationalism. So ano bang ibig nating sabihin when we say nationalism? And after that, so we try to identify what is Rizal's nationalistic ideology. Okay, so without further ado, what do we mean when we say nationalism? All right, so according to Recto, so nationalism has two components. Okay, first, so ito, so you have the growing and deepening consciousness that we are a distinct people. I said, we are a distinct people with our own character and spirit, our own customs and traditions, our own ideals, our own way of thinking, our own way of life. Okay. So yun. So in order for us to say na we are nationalists or we are believers of nationalism or we have nationalistic ideologies. So kailangan we are conscious, we are aware that our people, okay, our people, so for, in our case, the Filipino people are a distinct people, meaning we are unique. Okay, we are a different people compared to that of, for example, Indonesians. We are different from that of Malaysians, okay, from Spaniards in this case, especially in the case of Rizal. We are different from the Spaniards. Okay, we are not Americans. Okay, we are Filipinos. Okay? So yun nga, na we have our own character, spirit, we have our own customs, we have our own culture, we have our own uh, set of ideologies, beliefs. Okay? So yun. Now, you may think na ang dami nating similarities with other nations. Okay? Pero even if we have our own, even if we have similarities, still meron at merong lalabas na mga differences, okay, between us and the other nations. Okay? So okay lang naman na if magkaroon tayo ng similarities, okay? But our totality as a people, okay, definitely will be different from the other nations of the world. Okay? So that's the first. So we have to be conscious about that. We have to be conscious, we have to be aware na yeah, we are a distinct people. We are a unique people, okay, compared to that of other nations. Okay? We have our own nation, kumbaga. So after acquiring that consciousness, sabi ni Recto, so yeah, we need to have a firm belief in the genius of our race. Okay? In the capacity of the people for advancement. Okay, meaning kailangan after being aware that we are a unique people, we are a distinct people, we also have to believe na we are capable. Okay, you are unique, you are capable. Okay, we are unique, we are capable. On other nations, uh, for uh, for us to attain progress, for us to attain our destiny, our aspirations, okay, our goals. Okay, sige, pwede naman tayong humingi ng tulong or for example, we can engage in trading, okay? Pero when we go into relations with other nations, it's always for the improvement of the people. It's not for the basic necessities kasi dapat we have to be capable of that. Okay? Case for example, halimbawa Singapore, di ba? Uh, Basically Singapore wala siyang source of uh, drinking water. Okay? So what Singapore did is they developed technology so that they can convert seawater into clean drinking water. Okay, so that's an example of taking care of your own, diba? For your own necessities. It's an example of the capability of the people. Okay, so we have to believe in ourselves. All right. For example, in terms of food, so yun. So we should have the capacity. We should have the capacity to procure our own food, okay? For our advancement, for our progress. Kasi kung if yung basic necessities, di ba, hindi natin na nakakamit, di ba? How can we move forward? Okay? Uh, hindi pwede, pwede na we're buying from other countries. Pero if we want our country or our nation to move forward, dapat we as a nation should be capable of at least uh, procuring or at least producing whatever it is that we need to survive. Okay, take note, needs are different from wants. Okay, there are some things kasi na uh, inuuna natin yung wants natin. Okay, pero at the expense of putting aside whatever we need. So yun. All right. Okay. So again, yun nga. So nationalism as a concept, if we are trying to determine whether yung taong to, yung sinishare niyang idea is nationalist, okay? So it should have the two components. First, yun nga, there has to be awareness or there has to be consciousness that we Filipinos are a distinct people. Second, there has to be belief in the capability of the people. Okay? So dapat hindi tayo aasa from other nations, okay, for our uh, necessities for survival, okay? But we have to believe in our capability. Dapat doon sa sinasabi ng taong yun, for it to be nationalistic, there has to be statements or plans wherein they are trying to improve the skills, the capabilities, the knowledge, basically overall to improve the status of the Filipinos. Because we have to believe that they are capable. And yung pinaka-manifestation na naniniwala ka sa kanya is you're giving him the opportunity to improve himself. Okay? So again, the consciousness that we are a distinct people and okay, the belief in the capacity of our people, of the Filipino people. So, pag yung taong yun, okay, yung mga pinopropose niyang ideas, okay, meron siyang ganitong components, then uh, pwede siya mag-fall under nationalistic ideologies. Okay? All right. So, another thing, for nationalism, to be true nationalism, it has to be persevering, it is militant, and it is mature. Okay? So these are the characteristics of nationalism. Okay? Kasi 'di ba, the simplest definition that we can give to nationalism is love for country, 'di ba? Basically. Now, how can you say na your love for country is nationalism, 'di ba? Kasi ang daling sabihin na you love your country. It's easy to say that we love our country, but how genuine or how true is that love? 'Di ba? Ang daling sabihin, 'di ba? Kahit sa ibang tao, ang daling sabihin na mahal mo siya. But how can you say that it is true love or in this case, it is true nationalism? First, it is militancy or meaning it is aggressive. Okay? It is active. Okay? In its determination to correct the wrongs of the past. Yan. Okay? Okay, to effect changes that shall place the political, economic, and cultural life of peoples under their own forging and control. Okay? So meaning you are aggressive in that you're trying to change whatever it is that you have experienced. Okay? And at the same time, okay, yung changes na yon okay, will lead to you, ikaw, the Filipino people, gaining control of your life. Okay? Meaning, walang ibang didikta sa'yo. Okay? You're going to effect changes. You're going to effect changes in your life. Okay? That will put you in control of your own life. Okay? So, yun yung militancy. Okay? Hindi yung susugod tayo ng susugod lagi. Lalabanan natin lagi yung mga ano. Okay? So, hindi. It's that we are being aggressive in our bad experiences, di ba? In the wrongs of the past. Okay? To make changes. Okay? To make changes that will make us in control of our lives. Because basically that's one of the endpoints of nationalism, di ba? For us, for the people to be in control of their own destinies, to be in control of their own lives. Okay? Kaya lang, yun nga, to be in control does not necessarily mean na you're going to be independent. Okay? That's the first step. That's the first step. Okay? Kasi it has to be persevering. Dapat may perseverance. Okay? Is consubstantial, sorry. Consubstantial, okay, with the country and people, co-substantial and co-evil. Okay? Meaning it should be one with the country and the people. So as the people grows, okay, so as the people move forward, as the country continues to survive, nationalism should still be present. Okay? Hindi yung na-attain mo na yung independence mo, then wala na. Kakalimutan mo na kasi, well, you gained your independence. Okay? So, na-achieve na yung goal. But, again, like what we said a while ago, independence is the first step. It's the first phase. Okay? So, hindi siya matatapos doon. Okay? Tuloy-tuloy pa yan. Yeah, sorry. Tuloy-tuloy pa yan. Okay? That's why that sense of love for country, for that love for nation, should be persevering. Dapat hindi nawawala. Diba? So again, kung titignan mo, parang pagmamahal mo lang sa ano yan eh, di ba? Hindi lang dapat, yung pagmamahal, hindi lang dapat sa simula. Dapat it continues. Okay? It goes on and on. Okay? As long as that person, as long as the country, as long as the people are surviving. Actually, in the first place, hindi mo hahayaang mamatay yung nation. Diba? Anyway. Okay. Lastly, it should be mature. Okay? Ayan. So, I'm sure yung iba dyan na alam nyo na dapat yung pag nagmahal ka, it should be mature. Hindi yung ano lang, hindi yung fling-fling lang, hindi yung pakilig-kilig lang. Pero it also has to be mature, meaning there has to be that sense of responsibility. Okay? So, in this case, okay, masasabi nating mature ang nationalism. We can say that your love for your country is mature, sorry, if you prioritize substance over form. Okay? Anong ibig nating sabihin dito? Okay? So yun nga, sinabi natin kanina that independence is the first phase lang. Okay? Kasi yung iba tumitigil or they say that nationalism is achieved once independence is attained, di ba? At after nun, wala na. Okay? So hindi, it has to continue. Makikita mo yung substance ng nationalism if after that independence, the people Okay, the people have changed, or the lives of the people have changed for the better. Okay? For example, mahirap ka and then you became independent. So after independence, mahirap ka pa rin ba? Kasi bakit mahirap ka pa rin? Independent ka na. Okay? That's an example of form. Meaning, nagbago yung status mo in the sense na wala nang kumokontrol sa'yo. Okay? But is there a change in your life? Is there a change in the status of your life, of your living? Diba? Now, kung mahirap ka, tapos after independence, guminhawa yung buhay mo, okay, nakaahon ka sa kahirapan, especially because there is a change in the system, yun yung sinasabi nating substance. Okay? Kasi ang daming nagsasabi na after ng revolution, okay, then we gained our independence. Okay? Now, that's true. Okay, that's true. Pero anong klase ng independence? Is it political or economic independence? Okay? Because those two should go hand in hand. Diba? When you attain political independence, dapat kasabay nun is economic independence. Okay? Kasi sabi natin, halimbawa, wala nang kumokontrol sa'yo na ibang bansa, pero mahirap ka pa rin. Naghihirap ka pa rin. Diba? What's the sense of that independence? Okay? Nagbago lang is the form. But the substance, diba, walang nagbago. Diba? You are still captives. Mga nakakulong pa rin tayo. Kung hindi tayo nakaahon sa paghihirap, kung hindi tayo umahon sa kahirapan, kahit naging independent na tayo. Okay? So that's what we are looking for sa nationalism. Kailangan there is a change in substance. May pagbabago sa naging buhay mo. Okay? Or you are in the process of changing. Kumbaga, there is now the opportunity for you to change your life. Okay? So that's substantial. Ang pangit naman kasi na naghihirap ka, nag-revolution ka, nakuha mo yung independence mo, pero bumalik ka lang sa dati. Diba? So that's not true nationalism. That's not true love for nation. Kasi dapat, di ba, may change. Okay? Yung pinakamaganda dyan is, naghihirap ka, nag-revolution ka, you attain your independence, tapos guminhawa ang buhay mo. Alright? That's what we mean when we say maturity. Hindi lang sila pangako ng pangako na kailangan paalisin ang namumuno, ganyan. Kailangan paalisin ang mga imperialista, ganyan. Okay? But ano yung ino-offer nila para magbago ang buhay mo after mapaalis yung mga mapang-abuso. Okay? That's when we can say that the love for the nation is mature. Okay? Substance over form. Mas mahalaga ang sustansya, mas mahalaga ang substance. Okay? If you want to relate it, okay, mas mahalaga yung mga pag-e-ensure ng magandang buhay kaysa sa mga bulaklak, kaysa sa mga roses, kaysa sa mga teddy bear. Okay? Kasi baka araw-araw ka nga niya binibigyan ng chocolates, okay? Pero wala naman siyang ginagawa para pag kinasal na kayo, you're going to have a good life. Diba? Form lang yun. Diba? Ano lang yun? Non-essential. Okay? Form lang yun. Pagpapakitang tao lang yun. Okay? Nagbibigay nga siya ng mga regalo sa'yo, pero hindi niya naman sinesecure ang buhay ninyo. Diba? So that's not mature. Ano lang yun? Kilig-kilig lang yan. Romantic ano lang yan. It's not mature. Okay? So in that sense, nationalism has to be more than sentimental. Dapat hindi lang siya puro emotion. Okay? Dapat hinahaluan din natin ng pag-iisip. Kailangan meron din siyang ideas na nakalakip. Okay? Take note, hindi natin tinatanggal ang emotions. Nandyan din yan. But kailangan sinasabayan natin ng pag-iisip because pag puro emotions lang, okay, it's going to be temporary. Okay? Kasi emotions, ano lang yan eh. Bugso lang ng damdamin yan. It will fade. Okay? Form lang siya eh. Diba? It's not persevering. Well, it can be militant, pero sa umpisa lang. Okay? So you have to include a certain type of ideology para maging persevering siya. Okay? Para pag nawala na yung emotion, galit, pag nawala na yung bugso ng damdamin, okay? Meron kang ideology, meron kang plano na susundin, okay? In order for you basically to change the lives of the people. Okay? Doon siya magiging mature. Okay? Doon mo makikita yung substance. If mayroong emotions, but at the same time, hinahaluan ng ideas. Okay? So, ano naman ang sinabi ni Alejandro Lecauco in the question of nationalism? So, for Alejandro Lecauco, nationalism is both power and a philosophy of power. So, how is love for country power? Okay? It is power if it moved people to forge nations where there were none. Okay? Meaning, initially, meron ka lang mga grupo ng tao na nag-survive, basically. Okay? Pero they are not a nation. Meaning, walang sense of unity, di ba? Walang walang notion of independence. Yung sinasabi nga natin kanina, walang consciousness, but that you are a group of people that is unique to other nations. Meaning, you're just there to survive. Masakop ka man, okay lang, wala namang ano sa'yo. Again, as long as you will benefit from it. Okay? Now, this power can be translated into different examples. Depende sa situation. Okay? What will move the people to forge a nation? Okay? Sa kaso ng mga Filipinos, so it's the oppression of the Spaniards. Okay? That is what moved them to forge the Filipino nation. Okay? So that the power refers to yung capability nila to forge the nation. But it's not just power. It's also a philosophy of power. Parang sinasabi natin kanina, it's not just emotions, power, but a philosophy of power. Okay? So it is a philosophy of power concerned with strategies, methods and processes of building, developing, and nourishing that power. The power of a state. Okay? Kasi hindi mo lang madadaan sa bugso ng damdamin. Again, that's temporary. Okay? You need to develop. You need to nourish that emotion. Okay? So meaning, hinahaluan mo dapat ng ideology. Sabi nito, state must consciously cultivate and amass power for itself. Okay? So meaning, continuous dapat ang pag-retain, ang pag-develop mo ng power na that led you to form the nation, that led you to be an independent nation. Okay? Okay? Intermission. Hello? Sige. Sorry for that. Okay. Uh, so yun. So hindi tayo dapat umaasa lang sa bugso ng damdamin. Yun nga, power. Okay? Because you have to continuously develop that power. Ayan nga, you have to continuously amass power, consciously cultivate that power. Okay? Kung gusto mong mag-survive and prosper as a social organism. And more importantly, if you want to respond effectively to the needs of the people, okay, kailangan uh, continuous mong dinedevelop ang sentiment na yun. Kailangan continuous mong dinedevelop ang power na yun. Okay? Take note, when we say power here, we are not only referring to military might. Okay? So, hindi lang yun. Okay? There are different powers. Okay? You have economic power, you have political power, okay? Military power, etc., etc. So, you have to continuously develop that. Okay? Kasi remember, di ba, ano yung kailangan mo in order for you to win the revolution? Of course, military. Di ba? Pero hindi lang yun. You need to have good leaders, di ba, na magli-lead ng revolution. Okay? You need to have sufficient funds. Okay? You need to have sufficient economy. So, kailangan, you have to continuously develop that. Okay? That's why you need to have an ideology. You need to have strategies, you need to have methods, you need to have processes of building, developing, and nourishing. Okay? Kasi hindi mo lahat madadaan sa bugso ng damdamin. It will die down, definitely. Okay? Pag nawala na yung bugso ng damdamin mo, ano na yung magpapatakbo sa'yo? Diba? Ito na yun. Hindi na ito. Ito yung magtutulak sa'yo. Kumbaga, magsisimula. Pero yung magpapatuloy, okay, yung mag-e-ensure na tuloy-tuloy ka lang sa journey mo, eto. Okay? That's why it's both power and a philosophy of power. So yan. So ito nga, sinabi ni Li Chao ko. So let's read. It is not enough that one loves his country. Okay, it's not enough. Because even a fool can do that. So kahit yung mga mangmang, kayang gawin yan. Kahit sino, basically, kayang gawin yan. Okay? More important than being loved, a state must be strong. Again, take note, strength, hindi lang military strength, but again, we're talking about all types of strength here. Political, kailangan the leaders should be strong. The economy, yan, lalong-lalo na yan. The economy should be strong. Because without strength, walang-wala ka. Okay? It would not be able to take care of itself or provide for the well-being and security of its citizens. Okay? Kaya take note, halimbawa, case for example na lang, during the pandemic, during the early phases of the pandemic, diba? Nagpakita ba ang Pilipinas ng pagiging strong? Diba? In terms of dealing with the problem? Kinaya ba nating mag-lockdown ng matagalan? Okay? Para ma-ensure na hindi kakalat? Okay? Did we show strength in addressing nung may mga cases na tayo? Did we show strength in addressing the problem? 'di ba? Hindi, 'di ba? So hindi lang sapat yung love, okay? Okay, there should be sense of ideology. There should be strength in that love. Okay? So hindi lang puro emotions. Hindi lang puro bugso ng damdamin. Okay? It can push you, but it cannot keep you going. Okay? So yeah. So the country must be strong. So nationalism basically is power and a philosophy of power according to Lichauco. Okay. Ano naman ang kay Teodoro Agoncillo? Okay. So nationalism. So it's not just emotion. So but it's the mixture. Okay? It's the compound. It's the compounding of emotion, sentiment, and idea. So yung sinasabi nga natin kanina, hindi lang siya puro bugso ng damdamin. Okay? But hinahaluan mo pa rin ng pag-iisip. Okay? So it's a combination of sentiment and ideology. Sa context ng Asia, okay, in our particular case, the Philippines, okay, so it's a sentiment that is defensive in nature. Okay? So yung nationalism natin, yung nationalist sentiment natin, okay, defensive siya sa kaso natin. Why? Because nagbunga ang nationalism because the people were being oppressed. Okay? So that our sentiment did not come from us wanting to invade others, but gusto lang natin ipagtanggol ang sarili natin from being oppressed. Kaya siya defensive. Okay? So it expresses the people's longing to live an independent political life, to direct their economic and social improvement. So yan sinasabi natin kanina, di ba? When you, to say that nationalism is complete, hindi ka titigil sa independence. Okay? What will you do once you are independent? There has to be economic and social improvement. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na automatic wala na, but there should be opportunities for the people to improve their ways of life, to improve their status in life. Okay? And to protect their interests. Okay? So this one is where the sentiment came from. Inaapi ka, pagtatanggol mo yung sarili mo. Pero, once you have successfully defended yourself, once wala na yung nang-o-oppress, paano ka na? So, dyan papasok ang ideology. Diba? How are you going to direct your economic and social improvement? How are you going to attain that? How are you going to protect in the future? Diba? Para wala nang mang-o-oppress sa'yo. Ano yung gagawin mo? Okay? Kaya, again, it's both sentiment, emotions, okay, and ideas, ideology. Okay? So, hindi ka lang puro feeling. Kailangan you are also thinking. Constantino, ano yung sinabi niya? Nationalism as an ideology of liberation, must have two basic characteristics. First, it must be mass nationalism. Meaning, hindi lang dapat isang tao ang magpo-possess niyan. Kailangan, di ba? Masa, lahat involved. Okay? Second, it must be anti-imperialist. Ayaw mo sa mga mananakop. Okay? Ayaw mo sa mga foreign powers na sinusubukang kontrolin ang buhay mo. Okay? So, hindi. Ikaw, you and you alone should be the one controlling your own life. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi niya. Alright? So, hindi pwedeng isang tao lang. Again, Kung iisang tao lang ang nakaka-feel yan, you're not a nation basically, you're an individual who loves yourself. Okay? So kailangan your ideology should be shared with others. Your ideology should be believed in by others. Okay? For it to be considered as nationalism. Okay? And secondly, yun nga, it must be anti-imperialist. Okay. So yun nga, to recap before we proceed with El Amor Patrio. So all in all, ano yung sinasabi nila? Okay? So kung if you're going to put them together, walang okay, though they are saying that it's love for country, but yung love na yon hindi lang siya purong emotion. 'Di ba? Lahat sila sinabi nila yan. It's not just pure emotion, it's not just power, it's not just emotion or sentiment, 'di ba? Ano yung kanina, it's not just militant, 'di ba? Hindi lang puro galit or hindi lang love, hindi lang puro affections, but there has to be ideologies, there has to be ideas. Kasi if you do not have ideas, 'di ba? You cannot persist, you cannot continue, 'di ba? You cannot survive basically. Okay? If puro emotions lang ang pinapairal mo, you will not continue to improve. Halimbawa, you will not continue to develop. You will not continue to progress. If puro emotions lang. That is why kailangan mo din ng ideologies. Okay? Therefore, nationalism, diba? It's a love that contains both sentiment and ideology. Okay? It's love for country that contains both emotions, okay, and an ideology on how to survive and to improve, progress your country. Okay? That's when you say that your love is complete. Hindi lang puro damdamin, hindi lang puro kilig-kilig. Okay? But there has to be an idea. What do you want for your country? Okay? And how are you going to attain that? Kailangan masagot 'yan if you want to determine ano ba or if you want to determine if that nationalist idea is complete. Okay? If you want to determine if the love for the country is complete. Actually, pwede mo ring isipin yan if gusto mong i-determine sa mga manliligaw ninyo. Okay? How can you say that the love for that person is complete? Okay? So, hindi lang yung puro kilig. What do you want for that person? Kailangan masagot mo yan. And how are you going to attain that for your okay, how are you going to attain what you want for that person? Diba? Gusto mo, bigyan mo ng magandang buhay. How are you going to attain that? Okay, gusto ko, I have, I want na habang buhay, diba, pwede ko siyang mahalin. How are you going to do that? Diba? So, hindi lang puro kilig. Okay, kailangan, hinahaluan natin ng ideas. Diba? I want the countries to be, I want the Philippines, to be a country where the people will have a better life. Okay? Kasi hindi tama na inaapis. Hindi tama na uh, na ang daming naghihirap kahit na independent na tayo, 'di ba? Titingnan mo yung mga people sa squatters, sa mga impoverished areas, 'di ba? Maawa ka 'di ba? Tatamaan ka ng emotion. Okay? But again, hindi sapat 'yun. What are you going to do or what do you want for them? Okay? I want them to have a better life. Gusto ko gumanda yung buhay nila. Okay? Next question is, what can you do or what will you do for them to have a better life? Diba? So that's when you say na complete ang nationalistic ideology. Pag nasagot yung questions na yon, that's when you can say na complete ang nationalistic ideology. Complete ang love for country. Alright? So again, it's not just purely emotions, but you have to include, okay, as importantly, if not mas important sa emotions, you have to include, diba, your capacity for thinking, your ideologies. Okay? So nationalism is a love for country. Okay? Wherein when we say love, it's both emotions and ideas, sentiments and ideologies. Okay? It's a love that not only it's a love that wants what is best for the country and will work, okay, continuously for the survival of that country. Okay? So, simple lang. It's love, but it's not just the emotional love. It's the mature thinking love. Okay? Feeling and thinking type of love. Okay? Alright. So, ano yung sinasabi ni uh, Rizal? How do we love our country? What type of love for country should we have? Okay? So, we're going to look at two works. First is El Amor Patrio. Okay? Love of country. Alright. So, first part, so sinasabi niya na yun nga, all basically mayroong natural feeling ng pagmamahal sa country. Okay, sometimes it's not as manifested, hindi siya ganun kalaka or hindi siya ganun ka makikita sa tao, but sa subconscious, okay, there's always that feeling na okay na you will always have concern for the Philippines. Halimbawa, kahit nakatira ka na sa ibang bansa, di ba? A lot of Filipinos always try to still be updated with Philippine affairs. They still try to be ayun, when they retire, they still want to live here, di ba? Pag nag-retire sa pagtapos sila magtrabaho, nakapag-ipon na, okay. There's still that natural feeling na they want to return to the motherland. Okay? So once that love for country has been completed in your life, in your heart, okay, or in your personality, okay, hindi na mawawala yan. Diba? It will be imperishable. Diba? It will never be effaced. Hindi siya mawawala. Okay? Kasi it's something pure. It's something noble. Kumbaga, 'di ba, when you find your true love, 'di ba, hanggang ano na 'yan, hanggang forever na 'yan, kahit iwan ka niya, ganyan. Okay? Mamahalin mo pa din siya, ha. Pero what more if you if you realize your love for your country? 'Di ba? Your love for your country, hindi lang iisang tao 'yan. But when you say that you love your country, bawat isang tao, bawat isang Pilipino, kahit yung kapitbahay ninyong tsismosa, okay, kahit yung mga nanira, yung mga nanloko sa'yo, okay, basically, you will love your country. Okay? And when you love, diba, that is your motivation, okay, for great great actions. 'Di ba? Halimbawa, bakit mo susuungin ang bagyo? 'Di ba? Kasi mahal mo eh. 'Di ba? Bakit willing kang mag-sacrifice? Bakit willing kang gawin ang mga bagay na 'yan? 'Di ba? It's because of love. 'Di ba? So, halimbawa, kung yung buhay mo, kung ikaw yung tipong ano lang, chill-chill ka lang, wala kang masyadong pinapakialaman, yung mediocre ka lang, 'di ba? Pero once true love has been uh, implanted in you, okay, again, both emotions and ideologies, okay, then ayaw mo ng ano lang eh, 'di ba? Ayaw mo ng second best, 'di ba? You want you want only the best. 'Di ba? You're going to give your full effort, di ba, for greatness. Okay? Pero yun, specifically, so how do we show the love for country? Okay? If we follow the peaceful and productive paths of science. Okay? So meaning it's not uh, nationalism for Rizal or your love for country is not yung mag invade ka ng other countries para you can have more resources for your own. So hindi, it's basically scientific progress or scientific development, education. Okay? Uh, those knowledge or ideologies that can help the country become uh, productive, okay, and progressive. Okay? So, hindi yung magpapakamatay ka para ipagtanggol yung bayan mo. Okay? Well, that's one of course. Pero for Rizal, hindi, again, hindi siya ganun ka-inclined sa revolution. Okay? He's more of the person who thinks na education, okay, improving your knowledge that can help progress the country. Okay, that's how we can show our love for our country. Okay? So yun, again, improve your knowledge and then use that knowledge to help be productive. Use that knowledge to help lead your country to progress. Alright. Yun yung sinasabi niya sa El Amor Patrio. Very simple, di ba? Improve yourself, di ba? Grow in knowledge, and then, yun nga, use that knowledge to improve, to progress your country. Okay. And then, the second work, El Filibusterismo, we're just going to look back into the previous lecture video. Okay. So, kumbaga, i-review lang natin. So, nga, ano sinabi? Diba? Develop your own character. Diba? Reveal your own character. Diba? Cherish, appreciate. Diba? Your own character. Yung pagka-Pilipino mo, diba? Ilabas mo. Diba? Be proud of eating sinigang and adobo. Okay? Okay, depend on yourselves. Diba? Huwag kang aasa sa iba. As much as possible, make sure na yung necessities mo, okay, ikaw ang nagpo-produce. Yung pagkain mo, ikaw ang nagpo-produce dapat niyan. Okay, the materials that you need for basic construction, dapat ikaw nagpo-produce niyan. Okay? So depend on yourself, work, 'di ba? Okay, cultivate your own language, 'di ba? Sabi nga natin. Cultivate, preserve, okay? Develop your own language. Okay? Bakit? Because it is in your own language where you can develop your own way of thinking. Okay? Kung paano ka mag-isip, di ba? Language will help cultivate and preserve that. Okay? Aspire to be a nation. So yun nga. So your language is your mark of identity or your mark of identity, your mark of liberty, your independence. Okay? Kasi yun nga, when you have your own language, you're thinking on your own way. You're thinking on your own terms. Okay? You're not thinking as a European. You're not thinking as an American. You're thinking as your own, as a Filipino. Diba? Kaya very effective yung uh, pag conquer ng Americans sa Filipinos, di ba? Uh, the teaching of American English, di ba? That's a very successful way in colonizing and in conquering the Philippines. Okay? It helped in making the Filipinos think in the American way. Okay? So yun, instead of subordinate thoughts, think independently. Alright? Okay, so to summarize, uh, again, what do we say nationalism is? So nationalism is that love for country. The love that is not only emotions but also ideologies. Okay? Love that is not temporary but is persevering, is mature, uh, that continues to work. Okay? So love is the love that is mature. Okay? The love that does not settle for external manifestations but more of internal changes. Okay? So nationalism is love for country, but love that is considered as true love. Okay? Again, love that is both emotions and ideas. Okay? Anong questions na tinatanong natin? Okay, what do you want for your country? Okay, yan yung mag-aano ng emotion eh. Diba? What do you want for your country? Diba? How are you going to attain what you want for your country? So dyan papasok ang ideologies. If both questions are answered sufficiently, pag sapat ang may mga naibigay na sagot, then good. Okay. Then buo ang nationalistic concept. Okay. Then what is Rizal's nationalistic concept? Diba? How should we love our country? Basically, you develop yourself. Diba? You improve yourself. Okay? And once na you have improved yourself, you have developed yourself, diba? Use your skills to help progress or to help improve, to help develop the country naman. Okay? Kaya nga, di ba, sabi niya, the paths of science, the paths of knowledge, okay? The paths of gaining ideas. Okay? And then using those ideas for the betterment and for the development of the country. Okay? All right? So thank you for listening. Uh, if you have questions, again, feel free to contact me. And ayun, stay safe and stay happy.